Hello again, friends. Huldah here. Today we're going to talk about how to use a metronome, especially in medieval wars, because the tempos change quite often in this piece, and it's nice to know what that feels like and how to get to some of those faster tempos. So if you have a metronome, go and get it, and that's wonderful. If you don't and you have access to a device, you can download a lot of metronome apps for free. If you can't do either of those things, then just pay attention to this video and I'll help you walk through it together. So at the beginning of medieval wars, it's marked quarter note equals 72. So if you have a metronome, I have a handy dandy metronome right here. I would turn it on and put it at 72 and hit start and not drop it. Can you hear it? Oh yeah. I use my metronome a lot. We're friends. So this is the beat of the quarter notes. And if you don't have a metronome, it's fine. Just listen to mine. So let's start at the beginning. And for this video, I'm going to be working on the first violin part, but if you're a second violin, you can still play along. So I'm going to count off and then we'll play with the metronome. Okay? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Measure 7, 2, 3. Measure 8, 2, 3. Measure 9, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And stop. So that gets you a good feel of what that 72 tempo feels like. Even if you don't have a metronome, you can reference this video and get that feeling and then turn it off and play. So, speaking of turning it off, the next tempo marking that we have is measure 49. And boy, does it change. It goes to quarter note equals 152. That is over twice as fast as the tempo that we were just playing. So if you have a metronome or an app, set the numbers up to 152. And that's the quarter. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now that can be kind of intimidating because that is fast. So what I do is I slow the metronome down to something I'm comfortable with. So maybe I'm comfortable with that 72 tempo we were just at. Well, then I would start by learning this faster music at the slower 72 tempo. And then when I'm comfortable with it, I would speed it up just a little bit. So maybe I'd go to 88 on the metronome, and then 92, and then maybe 100. You know, just maybe a couple clicks up on the metronome at a time so that I get used to the faster tempo. Because if you sit down and just try to play it fast, it doesn't work, and it's really frustrating. So I know I just asked you to put your metronome up at 152, but put it back at 72. And let's try measure 49 together, starting at measure 49 at this 72 tempo, just to see what it feels like. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Just like that. Okay? So then I will just move it up. Let's go to 92. And then you start over and you play it at this speed. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget your accents. 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And I would just keep working it up slowly. And eventually, I'm going to jump ahead now to 152. This is what your goal is, and someday you'll be there. 1, 2, 3. Like that. And that's the fastest tempo in this piece. There's also one more tempo at measure 89, and that's only 104, which is still faster than our starting tempo, but much slower than that 152. So at 89, it's like this. 1, 2, 3. Like that. So those are the different tempos. And if you don't have a metronome, just get a feel for those different tempos from this video. And I hope it's been helpful, and remember to just go one metronome tempo at a time. Don't try to jump to really fast because it doesn't work. And I've tried for 30 years to do that, and I can promise you it doesn't work. You gotta work your way up. Anyway, thanks so much for learning about using a metronome with me today.